You finish an episode. Before the credits even end, your thumb is already opening another app. You sit down to eat, and the food's basically background noise to whatever's on your screen. You used to read for fun. Now, 3 pages in, you're checking your phone. Not because anything happened, just to check. If that sounds familiar, you haven't lost your motivation. Something else changed. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what and exactly what to do about it. Most people blame themselves first. I'm just lazy. I need more discipline. But here's the thing. You probably don't have a motivation problem. You have a baseline problem. And that's actually good news, because a baseline can be reset. A personality flaw can't. Think about walking out of a dark movie theater into full daylight. For a few seconds, everything's blinding. You squint, maybe even wince. But the sun didn't get brighter. Your eyes were calibrated to darkness, and now they have to recalibrate. Your brain's reward system works the same way. It's constantly calibrating to whatever level of stimulation you feed it. Feed it fast cuts, notifications, and 15-second videos all day, and a slow-paced meeting, a plain conversation, a quiet walk suddenly feels like staring into the sun. Not because those things got boring, because your baseline moved. This isn't just a nice metaphor. There's real neuroscience behind it. Neuroscientist Wolfram Schultz ran studies tracking individual dopamine neurons and found something surprising. Those neurons don't fire because of the reward itself. They fire based on the gap between what you expected and what you got. Predictable reward, smaller spike. Surprising reward, bigger spike. Which means the more predictable, fast, high-stimulation input you give your brain, the more it needs just to register the same size of spike. It's not about willpower, it's a recalibration problem. This shows up everywhere, not just short videos. Notice it at work. You open a spreadsheet and 30 seconds later, you're on a new tab. Notice it in conversations. A friend is mid-story and part of you is already thinking about checking your phone the second there's a pause. Notice it in workouts. You need music, a show, someone talking in your ear just to walk on a treadmill for 10 minutes. None of these things used to require backup entertainment. They do now because your brain has quietly been trained to expect a stream of extra stimulation running underneath everything else. And here's the part that stings a little. The boredom you feel doing normal tasks isn't a sign something is wrong with the task. It's a sign of how high the bar got. And this reinforces itself, which is the frustrating part. You feel a flicker of boredom, so you reach for your phone. Your brain gets a hit of stimulation. The baseline shifts up a notch. Now, ordinary life feels even more dull by comparison, so you reach again. Each time you escape boredom, you're not fixing the problem, you're feeding it, and quietly raising the price of feeling okay tomorrow. This loop doesn't announce itself. It just gets a little tighter every day until checking your phone during a 2-minute wait feels less like a choice and more like a reflex. Here's the flip side, though. If your brain adapted its way into needing more and more stimulation, it can adapt its way back out. This isn't a personality trait, it's a setting, and settings can be changed. That's the actual point of this video, not just explaining why nothing feels exciting anymore, but giving you a real way to move your baseline back down. So here are 4 ways to actually do that. Once a day, sit somewhere with 0 input for 10 minutes. No phone, no music, no show playing in the background. Just you and whatever your mind does with the silence. This feels uncomfortable at first. That's the point. It's the equivalent of standing in a dark room until your eyes adjust. You're not punishing yourself. You're giving your reward system a chance to recalibrate downward the same way it calibrated upward. Pick one activity a day and give it exactly 1 input. Watch the show without your phone in your other hand. Eat a meal without anything playing. Take a walk without headphones, at least for part of it. You'll probably feel restless the first few times. That restlessness is literally your baseline protesting. Push through it a handful of times and it gets noticeably quieter. The next time you feel that flicker of boredom and your hand is already moving toward your phone, wait 60 seconds before you touch it. Not forever, just 60 seconds. This one small delay interrupts the loop at the exact point where it usually wins. Most of the time, the urge fades before the minutes even up. Deliberately reintroduce low-stimulation versions of things you enjoy. A meal with no screen, a drive with no podcast, a walk with no destination. This is the equivalent of the spicy food eater going back to plain food on purpose, not because plain food is better, but because it's how you reset your ability to taste anything at all. Do this consistently, and the ordinary stuff, a real conversation, a slow morning, a walk outside, starts to feel like something again, instead of something to escape. None of this requires quitting your phone or deleting every app. It just requires occasionally giving your brain the boring input it's been missing, so the exciting stuff stays exciting, and the ordinary stuff stops feeling unbearable. So here's a question to actually sit with, not just scroll past. When's the last time you were truly bored? Not on a break from scrolling, just bored. If you can't remember, that's not a small thing. That's your baseline talking. Try one of these 4 today, and if you want the next one, how to fix your attention span, not just your boredom, that's coming up next.